All right, 1.3. Just so you know, you're still going to have to use the number lines, but we're going to talk about the rules for how to do it without a number line right now. So starting with our I can statement, I can develop rules for integer addition. Oh no, I forgot our vocab word. That's fine, I'll get it later. Alright, so how this works is you have this expression, and you want to know if they're the same sign or different. These are both positive, so they're the same. Okay, and then this one, I want you to think about which one has more power. Because you're right that positives are always larger than negatives, they're bigger. Which one has more power though, between 4 and 7? 7 has more power and it's positive. And then I'm going to use my integer chips to find the answer. So 4 plus 7 okay. I can't make any 0 pairs, so I just count how many there are. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. And then is the sum positive, negative, or 0? The sum is positive. And then this last one, you're comparing the sum, the sign of the sum compared to the sign that has more power. So positives have more power, the sum was positive, so that stayed the same. All right, one more example. All right, 6 plus negative 4. One's positive, one's negative. Those have different signs. Okay, which one has more power? If I lay it out, sometimes it helps. It's 5, 6 plus negative 4. You can see that there's more yellows. Those have more power. And they're positive, so positives have more power. Okay, then I find the sum, so I can match a 0 pair. A positive with a negative makes 0. Positive with a negative makes 0. Positive with a negative makes 0. Last one. I'm left with 2 integer chips that are positive. That represents a positive 2. Like we said, it's positive. Okay, so the sign that had more power was positive, and the answer was positive. That stayed the same. So what you are going to do is you can draw them on a whiteboard. If you want to make some people really wanted to do that. Or use them if you're in class. Use integer chips to fill out the rest of this. So are the signs the same? Which one has more power, positive or negative? Find the answer. So fill this out and then write about what you notice. So go ahead and pause the video and do that. Alright, so you should have paused the video. Okay, so I split them into whether or not they had the same sign or if they had different signs. get a paper. All right, here we go. So, when they had the same sign, whichever one had more power, the answer had that same sign. So if positives had more power, the answer was positives. Right? They didn't change. But I want you to think about what we're doing here. So 4 plus 7 is 11. We know that. But negative 5 and negative 13, just think about 5 and 13. What do I have to do with 5 and 13 to make it into 18? You have to add them. So when they have the same sign, they're both positive or they're both negative, you add the numbers together and that sign stays the same. Okay? So that's what I said down here. Expressions with the same sign will have a sum that has the same, it stays the same, and you just add the numbers together. So when they had a different sign, different but not 0, okay, the sign with the most power stayed in power. So if the sign with the most power was positive, the answer was positive. If the sign with the most power was negative, the answer was negative. But how do we get to these numbers? So between 6 and 4, what am I doing mathematically from 6 and 4 to get to 2? You're actually subtracting. Okay, let's look at another one. Between 2 and 11, how do I get to 9? Well, 11 minus 2 is 9. Let's do one more. 7 and negative 9. We got to 2. So ignoring the negatives for a second, just thinking about those base numbers. All right, between 7 and 9, 9 minus 7 is 2. So I'm actually subtracting when I do those. So expressions whose signs are different, they keep the sign that has the more power, but you actually subtract the big number minus the small number. And just making a point about 0 pairs, a number and its opposite when added together equals 0. That's all I'm saying. All right. So turn the page, I put it up here, and let's write the official rules for that. So if they had the same sign, so a positive plus a positive, or a negative plus a negative, what you do is you add the numbers together, and you keep the sign the same. Okay. If they're different, like a positive added with a negative, or a negative added with a positive, okay, you actually subtract. So you take the larger number minus the smaller number, and you keep the sign of the larger. Or if you want to think about it, which one has the most power? have a little rhyme. Same sign, add the numbers. Different sign, subtract. Take the sign as a bigger number. Then you'll be exact. Okay? So let's practice a couple. So negative 18 plus negative 5. They are the same sign. So we add them. 18 plus 5. 5 plus 8 is 13, carries a 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. Since they're the same sign, we keep the same sign. So our answer is negative 23. Make sure you put a box around it so you know that this is your final answer. We did some steps in the middle. This is our final answer. All right. Negative 31 plus 15. Those are different. It's a negative and a positive. So we subtract. We take the bigger one, 31, minus 15. Can't do 1 minus 5, so I have to borrow. The 3 becomes a 2. The 1 becomes an 11. 11 minus 5 is 6. 2 minus 1 is 1. All right, then I look at the numbers. 31, there's more, so negatives have more power. So my answer is negative. Negative 16. All right, last one. Negative 12 plus 47. They're different signs. There's a negative and a positive. So we subtract. Take the bigger one, 47, minus 12. 7 minus 2 is 5. 4 minus 1 is 3. $47 is bigger and positive, so there's more positives. So our answer is positive, so it stays positive 35. All right, that's it. Congrats, you made it. So for the practice using the rules. Go back and read them, see what happened. Okay? Practice using these. Take your time. We make mistakes when we go fast. But you got this. Good job, guys.